get to learn a lot and obviously like have so much fun together. Okay, so my name is Damilola and I'm joining you from Lagos, Nigeria. And I'd like to meet every other person on the call. So I want you to tell me your name and where you're joining from. In the chat, of course, just type in your name and where you're joining us from. Just so we get to meet each other and know the geographic location of everybody, every other person, and yeah, maximum for together, like I said. So if you're just joining, welcome to the 10Alytics session. I want to know your name and of course where you're joining us from. Okay, so Kingsley from Dubai. I love it. Welcome to today's session. Good to see you. Got Gabriel from UK. It's nice to see you as well. Welcome, Patricia, Buki, Arshad, Victoria, and Stella. Abdul Basit. It's good to see you guys as well. So let's keep it going. I want to know your name and where you're joining us from. Okay. David, you're welcome to today's session. Mariama, I hope I pronounced that correctly. You're welcome to today's session. It's good to have you guys here. And it's going to be fun because we've actually brought in a couple of amazing persons, right? To just chat and gist together and just talk things through. Okay. So I'm going to be introducing 10Alytics very quickly, who we are, what we do, and what we have for today's session. All right. So in case you did not right. So I'm sharing my screen now and I'm just going to take the intro very quickly. Okay, so once again, welcome to our alumni fireside chat. This is where we're going to be talking to some of our very amazing alumni at 10Alytics who just have a one-to-one chat on how they were able to secure their jobs after training with 10Alytics, right? That's what we're doing here for today. And in case you're just joining for the first time, I'm going to very quickly introduce who we are at 10Alytics, right? It's a pretty popular place, and what we do is very well known. We are a leading edtech company who specializes, and we specialize in providing specialized training in technology skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. All right, so over 4 years now, we've been working on building talent in the technology workforce. And of course, we've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom to their first job in tech. And that's across UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia, and so on and so forth. And we are very committed towards making the technology sector more accessible to a lot of people, all right? So we're not people that gatekeep here, but we are very committed to ensuring that everybody is able to access this technology sector. And we also provide experiential training in different sectors like data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, cybersecurity, Scrum, and AI engineering. And when we, of course, bring people on board to train, we do not just bring anyhow people, right? We come with people from companies like Amazon, like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Sahara. It goes on and on and on. Okay, and these people are coming with their wealth of experience, their real world experience, and are dedicated to delivering an engaging and practical learning session to everyone that has chosen to receive maximum value and invest in their future with 10Alytics. So that's basically who we are. And if you'd like to check us out on online, you can check us out at 10alytics.io. If you're going to be checking us out on LinkedIn, that's 10Alytics, Instagram as well, 10Alytics, and on Twitter at 10Alytics. And that's who we are in simple language. All right, so what are we doing here today? First off, like I said earlier, we've brought together some of our participants to just have a very interesting chat. We're just going to be looking through how they were able to cross into tech, how they were able to land their role, and whatever advice that they have for people in their house today. Then we'd also look through understanding the in-demand tech career paths, the selected fields that we have for you, and how you can transition into these roles. Then we'll discuss our upcoming cohort starting on the 8th of June 2024. All right, so me, your facilitators for today. First of all, we have Chukwemeka Ikpa. Is a GRC expert with more than 5 years of experience in GRC and consulting. and he's the CEO of 10Alytics, the COO of 10Alytics. And he has helped over 500 people with no prior tech background transition into tech and land their first jobs, right? He has experience spanning across governance, risk, and compliance in the banking sector. He has worked as the head of control in fintech. He has worked as a data analyst in fintech as well, fintech industry, and he has also worked as an hospitality consultant. Okay. And yeah, you can connect with him on LinkedIn at Chukwemeka Ipa, then on Twitter at Emeka Ice, and on Instagram at Ipatrix. All right, so that's for the CEO of 10Alytics. And then there's me, who is going to be, of course, hosting you today. My name is Oluwadamlola. I have close to 5 years of experience cutting across several areas in the data ecosystem, covering data analytics and business analysis majorly. And I currently lead the training operations here at 10Alytics. And I also have experience spanning across the retail and supply chain, FMCG, EdTech, working as a data analyst, and of course, a business analyst. And I have helped over 2,000 people transition into their tech, right? And I'm also adept ambassador for women in tech. So you can always connect with me on LinkedIn at Oluwadamlola Ajumobi. That's the majority of it for your facilitators for today. All right, so at this point, I'm going to be bringing up our alumni. Okay, I'm so just going to not share my screen. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to be bringing up the people that we are going to be learning from today, learning and hearing from today, okay? And like I said, these people are amazing people that have gone through 10Alytics. And of course, they've come to share, their experience, what they were able to learn, talk about their journey, and of course, share the details with us, just share basic amazing things with us. So first of all on our list is Karima. I'm just going to give a very quick intro of each person. So there's Karima Lawal. Hi Karima, if you can hear me. Good evening. I hope you are doing well. Good evening. Okay, so there's Karima Lawal, and she got a job as a digital business analyst in the UK after training with us, right? So Karima started as a teacher, and now she's working as a digital business analyst. So just going to say very little about them and then bring them on board to, of course, speak extensively about themselves. Then secondly, we have Oluwadamilare. Hi, Oluwadamilare, if you can hear me, do you want to say hi?
Hi, Damla. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. So, thank you. Oluwadamilare got a job as a sustainability data analyst with a company in the UK, right? That's basically after going through his transitioning program with us. Then I also have Vivian on the call. Hi, Vivian. It's good to have you here. Vivian, if you can hear me, do you want to say?
Hi, I can hear you. Hi.
Okay, hi Vivian. So Vivian also got a full-time job as a data and business analyst with JB, right, Dr. Julius Baker. So these are the people that we brought in today to speak with us to share how they were able to transition from what they had going on before to what they currently do now. So hi Vivian, hi Damilare, hi Karima. Do you guys want to turn on your camera and so that I can spotlight you? Hi, Vivian. I see you.
Hi.
Good evening. Thank you for coming today. It's good to have you here.
Okay.
So I'm spotlighting you now. Hi, Damilare. It's good to see you here as well.
Hi, Damla.
Hi. All right. So we have Karima. Hi, Karima. I'm adding you up as well. Okay. Hi, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. You guys are glowing and shining, tech people, Yes. Yeah, just smiling. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to this session and thank you for agreeing to turn up today. So I would start with Vivian. Vivian, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you were doing before and what you currently do.
Okay. All right. Hi guys, and I'm welcoming everybody to this session. I am Vivian Ogwadima, and I was a geoscientist, and I worked for oil servicing company, and I last worked for Total Energy in France before I saw the advertisement by Efemina in Twitter. So I decided to try the tech option because, data is the new oil. I was in oil, right? But data is the new oil. So I decided to make a switch. That's it.
You know ball, right? Data is the new oil. Correct.
Yeah.
So, hi Damilare, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you were doing before and what you currently do now.
Right, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and good evening, everyone. Happy to be with you guys. I hope you can hear me, though.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Right, I just want to be sure before I started rumbling around. So, where I started from or where I'm coming from. Well, for me, I graduated as a microbiologist, and it was pretty hard to get a job. And it's been so hard, and I just had to follow my passion, which was me getting into digital marketing. And so I started, when it comes to career, I started as a digital marketer back in Nigeria where I was doing my also then. Then the opportunity to travel to the UK came. It's been the jackpot syndrome all the while. So I didn't think it twice. I just left the country, dropped my digital marketing job, got to the UK, learned about the ecosystem here, and I realized the best thing to do is to get into tech. And like Vivian said, data is the new oil. I just found love and passion for data. And without wasting much time, I saw a post on Twitter from a friend that I follow. So he talked about several skills you could learn with analytics. I decided to join and follow through with the data analysis course. And the rest, like they say, is history. So here we are today. That's it for me,
That's
guys.
interesting.
Yeah,
So you
thank you
got to
very
learn
much.
about analytics from Twitter.
Yeah, just from a
Friend from
random post on Twitter, and I
Hmm.
just decided to take action. And I didn't even know if I don't know Adeza, nobody. It was just my friend that posted, and I decided to follow through because it's been a long life dream to transition into tech. And I saw the opportunity, I grabbed it without wasting time, and the rest is history.
That's very lovely. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to go to Karima. Hi, Karima. Do you want to tell us do you want to introduce yourself and also share with us how you got to know about analytics and what you were doing previously and what you currently do now?
Okay, sure. Good evening, everyone. So before I go into today's stuff, first of all, I would like to say that, Gabriel, I just saw your comment on the chat. I think that's very rude of you to say that to someone you haven't met before. That's very, very rude. Very rude. Okay. Yeah, so my name is Karima. I am a digital business analyst. Before now, I used to be a teacher. I've always worked from home. I teach pupils based in the UK, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and all of that. And I just told myself that I think I deserve more. And because my background is in economics, that was why I studied in university. I just said I think I have to do more. So I'd already gone for a business analysis course before, but I just felt that I think I have to know more of this thing, and I really have passion for business analysis itself. So one day I was on Instagram on Olufemiloye's page. That was where I saw 10Alytics adverts. So I went to 10Alytics page. I was like, okay, what are you people doing? What do you people want to promise me that I don't know? I went on YouTube. Like I was practically following you guys back to back. I watched almost all your YouTube videos, attended almost all your master classes. Trust me, before I even paid. So I was convinced that, okay, I think this is it for me. So I did the data analytics course, and that was what I did before. And the tutors were they were amazing. I was like, okay, I think I'll go for their business analysis too. So I paid for the business analysis, and yeah, so here I am today. Thank God. Can you hear
And I
me?
love that for you. Well done. So you took data analytics and business analysis.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think
And yeah,
it's
let me apologize for that comment. It was wait, am I clear
Well,
now?
yeah, I can hear you. I can. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Okay, great. Yeah, and I also wanted to apologize for the comments. That was uncalled for. All right. Apologies. Okay. So thank you guys for sharing your sharing a little bit of yourself with us. But there's another thing that I would like to pinpoint is that and I would like to ask you guys, what motivated you to join 10Alytics? All right. So we have tons of other places that you can go, but why exactly did you pick 10Alytics? I'm going to start with Damilari.
I want to go with the guy first.
Yeah, okay.
Well, for me, what motivated me to pick Analytics, I won't say I did not have much options. I just believe the time was right and Analytics came. Like I said, it's been a lifelong dream to transition into tech, and I haven't been serious about it. But it just got to that stage in my life. I felt like now is the time. So the post just came randomly on Twitter. I connected to the post and I clicked through, saw the masterclass masterclass invite. I registered for the masterclass. Thankfully, it was at days that I made the presentation. I was blown away. You understand? So it didn't take me too long I think, Adesa is very good at that. So he presented it so well. Like, I felt like, I think this is where I'm meant to be. So I did not bother to even go compare, check other places or where should I do it. I just took my decision there and there, and I just get started with analytics. So that's it for me. There were no much options. I just went with
Okay,
analytics.
fantastic. How about you, Karima? What motivated you to join 10Alytics?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, after going through your YouTube videos and the master classes, and I think I attended Linda's master class, where she explained I think we drew process flow for a beauty store or something like that. So I was like, okay, I think I like this person. I went on LinkedIn, I followed her, I read about her and all of that. So I was like, okay, should I join this thing or not? And because, of course, tech, and most people also wants to, I want to relocate. I want to leave Nigeria by God's grace. So I just told myself I have to, what was it called? I have to position myself well. What do I want to do when I get there? Do you understand? And then I know that teaching, outside Nigeria, especially in North America, as an African, is not really easy. You have to, do maybe another BSc or something like that. So I just told myself, let me go into tech so that I can have time for my children and husband and all of that. I can work from home. So, that was what motivated me to go with 10Alytics. And yeah, that's it.
Here we are. I like that.
Yeah.
So Vivian, do you want to share why you decided to go? What motivated you to join 10Alytics?
Yeah, I think quite a number of reasons, I must say, because before I joined 10Alytics, I had already had this flair about data, tech, and I wanted to know more about it. And then I read about it and I tried to do some courses online. But then I figured that any website or any program I tried to take their course on, they are only just online based, self-paced, without anybody there to ask questions, no live classes, no follow through, nobody to check your work to see if what you're doing is right or wrong, And then at the end of the day, they just give you a certificate, right? They don't show you the step-by-step process you need to take to position yourself in the tech space to stand the opportunity to get a job. I mean, to first land an interview before, getting the job. But then I saw this advert on LinkedIn, on Twitter rather, that Ifemina is going to be talking about tech. at so hour. And, you know, it was the right time for me to transition. It was the right time for me to know more about tech. That was the reason why I was making lots of research and trying to take some training. But it really didn't go well because I didn't like that method. So when I heard Efemina talk about the program, he listed there are live classes. It's self-paced during the week, but every Saturday we have live classes. We work on some projects, and then there are mentorship sections. You know, people can come talk to you about to set up your LinkedIn, how to work freelance. You know, it was so systematically organized that I felt, I think this is exactly what I want. I can ask questions. And these guys are going to point me in the right directions, how to, you know, prepare my CV. Given that I'm coming from non-tech background, even though I studied geology and it's science, but I mean, I know nothing about data analytics or data science. By the way, I opted for the data science program because I just wanted the whole package because I was in for it. I just didn't want to go for the data analytics because I figured for the data science, probably I pay more though, I don't know, but then it has to cover the data analytics and the data science. I just wanted to try it, you see. And then that was just the structure. It's so brilliant and excellent that you just can't miss a thing. If you focus and follow 10Alytics program, like Efemina said they would, which they actually did when I enrolled. I guess all it really took was a lot of effort. You must be dedicated. And then I tried to do that. Sometimes it can be intense, but that is what you need to have the right skill to, you know, have an edge over other applicants if you really want to land this right. I think that was just what, you know, made me to opt in for 10Alytic program, and I never regretted it, not for one day.
We are glad you don't. That makes that makes us very happy. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for sharing that. So the next thing I'd like to ask you is that how did the training prepare you for your current job? Right. So Damilare, you work as a sustainability data analyst. Karima works as a business analyst, digital business analyst, and Vivian, you work as a data business analyst as well. So how did the training prepare you for what you currently do in your role, you know, the job that you currently occupy? Karima, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, firstly, I would say, before you apply for any role or anything, any interview or whatever it is, whatever is it that you are doing in terms of, you know, your courses, how you attend your courses, the assignments you are giving and all of that. Trust me, all of those things will show on the job, or it's going to show during your interview process. And why did I say this? During my time, you know, with 10Alytics, while I was doing my course, my both data and business, I made sure that I was, you know, at the top front of, you know, any project. Like if you ask any of our group members, they'll say, "Oh, Karima, okay." So I was there because I wanted to know it. Like I felt like the some of, like, especially those people when they introduce themselves, they'll be like, "I work in the bank as the general." I'll feel intimidated that me, I'm just a teacher. Or, hey, me, I don't have all of this experience that people are, you know. So I told myself that I must know this thing. So I'm going to be the class, or let me say my group captain, so to say. So you know, during my interview process, I was able to talk about all these things, you know, Linda taught us, especially the projects, you know, how to start a project from start to finish using the agile methodology, the waterfall. And because I already done data analytics, I was able to chip in how to use Tableau, SQL, Power BI, and all of those things. And of course, the interviewers, they were blown away that, you know, all of these things, you know. Yeah, so that really helped me, you know, the courses itself. I went over they watch me do a video again, and the Zoom recording or the Teams recording on my classroom, you know, before the interview. I prepared well, read my notes. In fact, I didn't say that maybe because I'd already done something before. I read my notes from back to finish and, you know, start to finish rather. And, you know, it really helped me during the interview and I got the job by God's grace.
Yeah, if we're on Google Meet right now, I'll be sending in rounds of applause. I like the way you presented. Yeah, so you
Okay.
attending classes, you taking your project serious. Also, you took notes, which is,
Yeah.
something that is very valuable to do, right? So that's how training helped. Thank you for sharing. Vivian, do you want to share how the training helped you, across getting the job and also on your current job?
All right, then. I think I would start by saying, unfortunately, I wasn't the type to take notes. But I'm type that when I'm in the class and then I pay attention, I would grab it. And given the fact that there are recorded videos, I could always go back to it. I think Karima is very strong, to have been able to carry out the function of taking notes. I was very lazy in that department, pardon me. But if anybody can do that, please, by all means, do that. It's very, very helpful. Okay, so when I joined 10Alytics, I had already made up my mind that geology is a stagnant job, You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And to see the chance of being promoted in the job, it's very little, you see. And I figured in tech, it's very flexible. I can move around, I can work from anywhere. And I'm a lady, I'm trying to start a family. So I need time for my family. I need a career that I can work from home. I need to take care of my kids and my husband when everything is set like that. And I also needed a job that I can have variety of choices to choose from, not something that is very specific, So I think the structure of the program in 10Alytics is such that when you attend any interview or you're on the job, you will be able to handle it. Okay? I kid you not, for those guys listening to us right now, the program, I'm going to tell you the gospel truth. It's very enticing. It's cool, but it's intensive. So if you want to come into it, you have to be all in, because not only is the program intensive and would help you in the long run to land the job, it's also been simplified. I mean, the way Femina and Ade taught, like the way they teach is so, I don't know how to put it. It's like they're teaching kids in primary 5, So it's very difficult for you, who is an adult, not to understand. The only thing is you have lots of classes, lots of lessons to go through, the assignment and the project too. Like Karima said, pay attention to the project. Even if you're not the leader of the project, make sure you are actively involved. Because during the interview stage, I actually was interviewed for 3 positions. I was interviewed for investment analyst, for data and business analyst, and for assurance risk officer in different companies, PwC, asset risk consultant firm, and Julius Baer that I just chose because that offered better. And I got the entire offer for the 3 companies. I got all the offers. Because these guys would come and then they will ask you scenario-based questions most of the times. You see this project you guys are going to do when you enroll, make sure you're conversant with it, because even if you don't have work experience, even if you don't have any work experience, if they ask you a scenario-based question and you are
Okay, for a minute there, I thought it was my internet. Hi Vivian, if you can hear me,
you are going to draw
I
strength from it. And then,
we lost.
so being in the program and, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you for like some seconds. So, but we
All
can
right.
hear you now.
Okay, so, okay, good. So I'm going to make it very short. What I'm trying to say is pay attention to any of the tools that you're going to be taught and the softwares. They are all important. Okay, please, especially Excel, Python, SQL, Tableau, they are all very important. And the way the program was structured, mostly for the project aspect, actually helped me scale through my interview. And currently in my job, I mostly handle data in MS Word. Sometimes I go to the database to extract some certain amount of data using SQL. queries, okay? And then I build Tableau for reporting. And then most times I just generate template reports in Excel for different departments because I'm a data analyst and I'm also a business analyst. So I work with different business departments in the bank. This would come and ask me to create a report from this dirty Excel sheet. So I will have to go through the process of working with Power Query and Excel, picking data from queries. So please, it is very, very important that you pay attention, like Karima said. And I promise you, if you pay attention, there's no way you won't land a job at the end of the day. I mean, I had no tech career and no tech background whatsoever. And I mean, look at me, 3 of us. It's possible.
Thank you for that, Vivian. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
Right. So for everybody that's come here to listen to our people, you've heard what they said. And I'm going to take the question back to Damilare as well. So do you want to share how the training how the training prepared you for your current role and what you currently do? Any specific moments that you want to pinpoint that sort of like you're like, oh, this is something that I did in 10Alytics and it is happening here right now. Wow. Do you want to share any of that?
Well, Vivian's ginger has even answered the whole question, to be honest, because she killed it. But just to put a little on it, to add to what she has said, the training are very, very vital to anyone joining the program, because at every stage of the training, you should take every stage serious. Karimat was a very serious student. She took notes. Like Vivian said, I'm lazy as well. I can't take notes. I just like to learn hands-on. Because for me, when I became a digital marketer, I did not go to any school for digital marketing. I did not take any course. I learned digital marketing, applying the things I learned personally. I did self-learning for that. So I'm not the kind of person that would want to just sit down, take notes and all of that. But what I did was during the training, I was very, very active in class. Not like I talk, I don't talk, I listen a lot. When we are meant to do a few things, I do it. And for me, I learned all the tools, but for some reason I connected a lot with Power BI, and I don't know, I just love Power BI. So it's been Power BI for me. I love Excel as well. Tableau, I loved very good. But when it comes to doing reports and visualization, I always go to Power BI because it's my hot cake. It's where I sleep and wake up. I love to do anything in Power BI. You understand? So for me, that was it. I just picked that and I keep learning and all that. I did all my projects in Power BI except the SQL project. So every phase of the training has been awesome. And when it comes to interview, that's another ball game. Vivian is a very hot person. You got 3 offers. You are strong, because for me, it wasn't like that. You know, I could remember my first interview, although it's God has been grateful to me too. I did just 2 interviews. The first interview, I tried my best, reached out to 10Alytics, got support from 10Alytics. That's what you guys will be getting as well. So if you sign up with 10Alytics, you get a lot of support when it comes to your interview phase. So I did that. It was an health firm, so it's meant to work with health products. My presentation was fantastic. I analyzed the data very well. But when it comes to the interview, I tried my best, but the feedback was I didn't talk extensively on my experience. So, there's still no way you want to beat some part of these things because you don't have that tech experience, but you have a very good knowledge and skill that you've learned from somewhere that you can apply on the job. But you still need to package yourself to show recruiters that, yes, you can do this thing and you know how to do it best, like talking from real life scenarios, like Vivian said. So what I did was, when I missed out on that, the second interview I had, I went back to my class, like the recorded sessions, watch me do it videos, just played what just I went back to my projects to just have a look at it and all of that, just to refresh my memory and also take a good look at my CV to see what I can say better the next time. Then the offer for sustainability data analyst came. I knew nothing about sustainability. I knew nothing about it. But just because I need to do well, I did my research, reached out to 10Alytics again. I got my support, packaged myself well, and I got to the interview. I don't need anybody to tell me that I smashed it. I knew I smashed it. But with the help of God as well, I put my best foot forward. God perfected everything. But the good thing is, the training was super helpful because I followed through everything in class. And there was one thing I did that was phenomenal. I don't have the serious student mentality, like, oh, take notes, like Karimat said. But what I did was after our cohort, I told the guys in the class that, oh, if you want us to check on each other, I'll, I don't know if you, I like the idea of me creating a WhatsApp group where we can just be together. Some people subscribe to it. I created a group, we joined. The fact that I created that group, it kept pushing me that, guy, you need to post one day on this group that you landed a job. I don't know if that makes any sense, because I just don't want to finish this course like any other course, or this training like any other training that you will just finish and that's it. Because a lot of people will finish and they won't take any action further. So I did that just to hold myself accountable, that I want to make sure that I get something out of this training. So that was part of the things that motivated me as well, that I need to just inspire this group and let them know that we can do it. So that kept me going. And to the grace of God, I was able to land the job, and it's been a fantastic journey for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you led a team within 10Alytics, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I led it.
that's
I led a very
interesting.
small team that joined the group, and we're together. We still do stuff together. Just a few of them.
Hmm. That's where leadership starts from. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. And I love everything that you guys have said, right? It all boils down to how you guys were leading your classes. Karima was taking notes. Vivian was back to back watching the videos and all that. And Larry that said it was not a serious student, became a small group leader within 10Alytics. So well done, guys. Another thing I would like for you guys to speak to is the mentorship sessions that we had, right? We had mentorship sections, we had CV review sections, we had LinkedIn optimization sessions. Now, how did these sessions how did they help you guys basically? Was there at any point in time a mentorship session that you came into and you knew that okay, it was meant for you? Do you guys want to share any details on that? Yeah, let me start with Vivian.
Yeah, okay. About that, the mentorship session were really, really helpful. Okay. Because in as much as I wanted to land a job, I also wanted the opportunity to work freelance. Okay. And then there was this mentorship section on how to create your Upworks account, so many other accounts, Fiverr and all that. So the mentorship session will put you through on how to open your accounts, which I did, and it really paid off, and it is still paying off. Okay. And then they like I said earlier, I was already in geology, okay, and I had a LinkedIn account, but I needed to tailor it towards tech so that those guys, those interviewers, or maybe those recruiters would be able to see me and see what I can handle, and then reach out to me for, job opportunity. So 10Alytics mentorship session was able to tell me how to navigate through that. And for those who really don't have LinkedIn accounts, they were able, just like a friend of mine who works in a bank right now, I think it's Access Bank in Lagos State. She actually went through this program. So she had no LinkedIn account earlier. So it was 10Alytic that gave her the opportunity on how to structure it, how to personalize it, so that when a job offer comes through, or probably job advert, yeah, it will tell her those skills that she needs to add to her resume or to her profile to make her probably stand out as the best candidate to be reached out to for an interview. The mentorship sections were so helpful. It would tell you how to comport yourself during an interview, what to say, what not to say, how to structure your CV. I mean, it was, I think 10Alytic is just a whole package, guys. If you have the opportunity, please just enroll for this program, and it's going to be a life-changing opportunity for you, and you're going to testify just like I'm testifying right now. I think I'm just going to end there.
Fantastic. I look forward to a lot of people testifying. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Vivian. Yeah, Damlari, do you have anything to say regarding the mentorship sessions, CV review sessions, Upwork optimization? How do they help you at any point in time?
Yeah, thank you. Mentorship session is my own platform for refueling myself because, there are times that you get tired on this journey and you feel like, can you actually do it? So I look forward to those sessions where the motivation will still come back again. Guys, you can do it. Optimize your CV, optimize your LinkedIn. Those sessions are super helpful for me because I remember when I started my application process, there were a lot of rejections, like loads of rejections. So I had to look at it and I knew I'm doing something wrong. I just had to assess the whole thing and analyze the whole situation as a data analyst. I had to analyze myself and look like what's going on, guy. So that was where the mentorship session came in. And, when we had those sessions, I'll go back, work on them, tweak my CV around as well, because I don't have that tech skills, that tech experience too. But from digital marketing, okay, how can I move this? How can I tweak this CV around to make this thing make more sense? I took my time to do that using the things we learned from the mentorship session. And it started from my LinkedIn actually, because when I optimized my LinkedIn, what I noticed was recruiters started reaching out to me. Hey, we have a data analyst job. Are you available? Messages started coming in. That was where I knew, okay, something good is happening. So from there, I would attend interviews, then tweak my CV, I'll submit CV. And what I also do is I don't submit CV alone. I try to submit my CV with a very, very good cover letter. Thanks to ChatGPT, I don't do the stress of writing. I'll go to ChatGPT, get my cover letter done. So all of these things are just easy to do when you're smart at it and all that. So I'll just back it up with a very strong cover letter and I'll push it forward. I started getting response. So these are all the things I learned from the mentorship session as well, which is very, very priceless for me. So I will just stop that and allow Karima to add to it as well. Thank you.
Okay, Karima, we are calling you up. Do you want to share any time in your experience with the mentorship sessions and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so for me, I think during my time, it was much more than CV review or LinkedIn optimization. I would say even when you get the job, because there was one mentorship session we had with Senior Bola, I've forgotten his first name. And when you our data analytics Excel teacher, one of the best teachers, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it talked about when you get the job, how do you behave, maybe the first month or the first 2 months you get the job, how do you do everything? You know that when I got my job, I went back to that session, I went to watch it, that okay, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, So for me, it was much more than, because anybody can actually create a resume or a cover letter. You can even use ChatGPT, Femina and Adeza used to teach us all of that. Secondly, the one I actually like most, from the mentorship section was when Adeza will call some people that they'll tell them, I want you to apply for this job, although the job is just tailored within 10Alytics. Then submit your resume. Then we'll call you people for an interview. Oh goodness, I really like that session. Because people will come out, some people will be very shy, they don't know what to say, and some people will come out very bold. And Femina will give like very sincere feedback, and Adeza, and I just sit and listen to them, and just say, okay, I'm not meant to do this, I'm meant to do that. So that really, really helped me, while I was interviewing and, just applying. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. So the mentorship sessions, they were, always will be very valuable, always will be very reliable, something that you can always go back to at any point in time. Okay. So moving on to the next question. I think this will be the second to the last question. Okay, so are there any major misconceptions you thought would hinder you from getting a job? and what are your thoughts about the misconceptions now? So maybe, for example, they could say that, oh, you studied microbiology, you will not be able to transition into tech. And maybe you had that misconception. And now that you are, into tech and you're obviously like doing really fine in it now, what are your thoughts about these misconceptions? Jamilare, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. For me, I think it's still boils down to tech experience. Like I used to think, oh, if you don't have any tech experience, I doubt if you would be able to actually get into the field, like if you can actually step your foot in there. So I carried this misconception for a while because it hindered me to start applying. Because I remember when we were doing our training, if a man would said, guys, start applying, start applying. I'm like, why would you tell me to start applying? What do I even know? Like, that misconception of what do I even know? I don't even have any experience when it comes to tech, and you're telling me to go and apply. Guy, I can't do it. So this actually held me back for a long time. And I just, well, for some reason for some personal reasons, which I try to also wait and take my time with the application process. So for me, mainly was that tech experience, and also in the UK experience matters as well. So if you don't have UK experience, I believe it's going to be a thing as well. But thank God we're able to navigate through all of that. And in the long run, I realized all of these things are not that much of a big deal. It's just only how you position yourself. It's about positioning. If a man, I would say package yourself. It's not about lying. It's about packaging. This thing, you can do it. So it's about how can you position yourself? How can you package yourself to show to the people, to the recruiters that, yeah, you can actually do this thing, even without experience. There are times that the recruiters will see your CV that you don't have this experience. But when they hear you talk, they'll feel like, no, this person knows what he or she is saying. So it's about how you carry yourself, how you position yourself most times, and not about that wealth of experience or tech experience that was holding me back then. So that's it for me. I'll let the ladies add to it. Thank you.
That's lovely. Okay, Karima, I'm going to ask you next. Were there any misconceptions that you had before transitioning into tech, and what are your thoughts about these misconceptions now?
Okay, so before now I used to hear that like women don't really
Okay,
transition
I
into
thought it
tech.
was me freezing.
Okay,
Damilare, can
hold
you
on.
hear me?
Wow.
I can hear you.
We can hear Karima.
Yeah,
Okay,
we can hear
okay,
Karima
okay.
as well.
All right, okay. Karima, please go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I thought my network was poor. Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. So like people will say women are scared to transition into tech, and most people have this what's it called? This misconception that tech is only software development and coding. Like, most people like, I mean, I cannot code though. Yeah,
Yes.
most people. Sorry, hold on. Let me change my internet, please.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So most people feel that, oh, everything is coding. I cannot code. I don't know mathematics. I don't know. My background is in English language from the university. How am I going to thrive in data analytics and all of that? But the thing is, when it comes to tech, you have to put in a lot of efforts. Nothing good comes easy. You have to, for me, I volunteered, like I volunteered for a business analyst position with an NGO, and it really helped me. The company is based in the UK, and we have like people that are already like top senior business analysts, senior data analysts. So I was able to learn a lot from them and all of that. So I would say that that helped me, when it came to the volunteering aspect and all of that. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Karima.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, I was able to use that for myself, and also, sorry, I think I lost my line of thoughts. Can you come again with, I think the next network me. Can you come up? Can you come again
Okay.
with the question, please?
All right. So I asked
Hello?
if you had. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked if you had any misconception about getting
Okay.
into tech and
Yeah.
what you think about
So,
it now.
yeah, so I felt that okay, and because you can see me the way I'm dressed, I felt like will anybody want to employ me and all of that? My father would tell me that I need to go to the university. You have a first degree, you have a second degree. So what's the issue? I was like, okay, well, maybe I should also transition into tech and all of that. So I did that. I was studying, I did everything I'm supposed to do. In fact, when I got this job offer, when I was supposed to attend the interview, I was scared that because the company is based in the UK, I'm in Nigeria. So I was like, hey, hope these people will not say that, who is this one? Like, someone just said now, I should have studied for the interview. I told my husband, what, let's do this mock this thing together, ask me questions. I went on YouTube. I should have did everything that whatever you people say you must, tell me that you are the best. I should have went for the interview. Turn on your camera, let's see you. They started speaking all those funny. I did that, and I was scared. I had a cold feet, but I told myself you can do it, just calm down. And immediately I saw them smile at me, guys, I felt comfortable. Like, immediately I saw that, the two recruiters, when they smiled, I was like, okay, Karima. And, while I was talking, they were nodding, they were doing like this. So I was like, I think I'm saying the right thing, So when I got, so when I got the job, I told myself that, yes, I can walk into any door with my dressing and nobody will say anything. So far, you
Yes.
understand what I'm saying. So far, you know that this girl, she knows what because when I got the job, I asked my employer, I was like, oh, why did you later employ me? He said, out of everyone, you were the only one who knew what you were saying. You were so confident. We saw that confidence in you. And even though me, I was scared, I didn't even know that they saw it in me. So, I had that imposter syndrome that, as a Muslim woman, what am I going to do? Is anybody going to employ me like this and all of that? But yeah, I am today. I am in Nigeria and I work for a company in the UK. So it can happen to anyone. Yeah, so I'm not sure this is not ginger but to be honest, just do it. You can and you will. By God's grace. Yeah.
That was well done, Karim. I absolutely
Thank you.
enjoyed that. That's amazing. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay. Vivian, I'm gonna ask you next. What were the misconceptions or what particular misconception you had and what do you think about the misconception now?
Okay, then. I think I'm gonna try to make it brief. The first one is I need to have a degree in tech, maybe as a data analyst or BSc on MSc or an MSc in data science or statistics. No, you don't need that. No. You need to learn many other tools. Like after the training you have from 10Alytics or any other place like Udemy or Coursera, maybe you learned Python for data analysis, Excel, SQL, Tableau, and Power BI. You need to start learning Spark, Apache, those other stuff, extra, just to know a lot of things. No, please, it's not necessary. Don't waste your time. Whatever 10Alytics is going to teach you is just exactly the right amount of tool you need to succeed. The other misconception is professional certification. After your data science program, data analytics program, or business analytics program, I thought that it's a must to go ahead and get professional certification since I don't have a degree in tech. No, it's not necessary. What these guys want is they just want to know if you can deliver on the job. Can you do this job? Okay, that's it. Don't stress yourself too much. The other one is my CV must have lots of other job experiences. You don't, all right? Work with your CV. The projects that 10Alytics is going to build with you during your training should be your experience, right? self-project, 1, 2, 3. Make them your experiences, all right? Because during the interview, they're going to tell you, have you worked in a situation where you had to use this and use that? Of course, yes, I have. Of course, I have. Okay, give us an example. Draw from the program and project you've done from 10Alytics. You don't need several years of experiences. So please, let that not scare you into diving into tech, okay? The other one is Python is too hard, just like Karima said. I mean, Python for AI is there, Python for data engineering, Python for software, Python for website design, Python for data analysis, and for data science is different, please. And the way 10Alytics is going to structure it, they're going to make it as if it's tea and bread. It's very easy. Let coding not scare you away. I kid you not. It is not difficult, though. I myself was very scared. That was what made me to delay my transition into tech. Python is difficult. Python is this, coding, math. No, anybody can do it. Anybody, whether you have a science background or not, you can do it. So please, I'm just going to leave it at this. I don't want to talk too much. Thank you.
You said a lot, and I love everything that you guys have said. Thank you so much. So if you're on this session, some misconceptions that you've had or that you currently have, you definitely want to start rethinking, and start preparing how you can also get started on your tech journey. You don't necessarily have to, just come as you are, right? Would equip you
Okay. We lost you for a bit.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So I
Okay.
said the last question for today, so we can move to the next part of the session. What advice would you guys give to somebody who is looking to enroll in any of the programs at 10Alytics? What would you like to say to this person? Karima, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Firstly, I would say don't be someone that will be moving from one course to another. Some people from project manage, they'll do project management, they'll do product management. They'll say, I don't like this one. They'll go to software development. Front end, I don't like it. Move to business analysis again. Don't be that person. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't waste a lot of money. Let me tell you something. You already know your background. Whether your background is in Yoruba or Igbo or anything like that, and I'm talking about what you studied in university. Don't let that hold you back. If you are scared of taking any course, that is why there is a master class. Not all tech schools, not all of them used to do master classes. Because I told you I've already attended a business analysis course before. Not all of them do all this watch me do it video that you can go back and watch. Once you are done with the course, some people, that's it. You won't have live access to the materials or the videos anymore. So don't be that kind of a person. Go for the master classes. That is why they have created it. Talk to the coordinators. What can I do? This is what I'm doing now. Where can I, and thank God, this ChatGPT. Some people didn't have ChatGPT during their time. They didn't have it, and ChatGPT is here to make things easy for you. I was just telling my cousin, and she was telling me that thank God for ChatGPT. Like, she's in the university studying pharmacy, that she can't even imagine how she would have done her project. And but some of us did it without ChatGPT during our time, but now you have it. It's simplified for you. So what's the issue? Just go for it. Don't be scared. Of course, you have cold feet. You may not understand some terms. That is why you have to ask questions. Your coordinators are there. And in fact, I know there's a session 10Alytics used to do, I think every Wednesday. I've forgotten the name of the session. Whereby, drop-in session. Thank you. Drop-in session. You have it whereby you have one-to-one with your what's it called, your teacher, and tell them, I don't understand. How did you do, maybe it's data analytics you want to do. You say, how did you get what is it called in pivot tables? How did you do this? How did you do that? You can ask questions. That is why they have built this program in such a way that even the Like the person that is not even brilliant, the person will be brilliant by fire by force. You understand? So, so don't worry, you can do it. Just start, and yeah, the major thing is starting. If you don't start now, you will not do anything. 2024 is almost gone. So if you start today, the 2024 will still finish. So just start.
Thank
All the
you.
best.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, Jamlari, do you have any advice for anybody who's considering enrolling in any of the 10Alytics program?
Yeah, building on what Karima said, focus is very important. Focus, focus, focus. Don't jump around, please. It's not a very good practice, because I'll take myself for a very good example. Before I started the training with analytics, I used to be someone who likes to jump around things, like I'll try this, I'll try that. But I don't know where the inspiration come for my decision on analytics. Although I was in between data analysis and business analysis, considering the fact that I'm coming from a digital marketing background. I had a talk with some people. They were like, oh, business analysis will be cool for you. Some said data analysis is not bad. At the end of the day, I'm the one to take this decision. So I had to have a good look at myself and check my strengths and my weaknesses. At the end of the day, I decided to go with data analysis, and I stick with data analysis. I did not waver or try to do something else. So focus is very, very important. And moving forward, also, it's I would advise anyone who is on the call today to just take the bold step and sign up with analytics, because you'll be in good hands if you definitely sign up with analytics. I can tell that for a fact, and I believe my other sisters or colleagues that here can also tell you that, because the analytics are very, very good at what they do. And also, when you sign up, just stick to whatever they ask you to do. Me, I was stubborn. Oh. They asked me to start applying. I did not apply. That was why I delayed. I didn't get this job early. So don't delay. Don't 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 just argue. Once they say do this, do it, because these guys, they know all of these things more than you. You understand? They've been there. They've seen it all. What they say you should do, that's what is going on. That's what is actually going out there, and their advice is always on point. So I would advise you to just stick to whatever they ask you to do and follow through the learnings religiously. It's very, very important. Why am I saying this? Is because prior to data analysis training, I don't know anything when it comes to analyzing the data. When I see data set, I don't even know where to start from. I don't know what to do. Even on the training, I was still confused. How do I even start? I remembered when we started working on the class works, some people will reach out to me, can we solve this problem together? I'll be like, okay, let's do it. The process of collaborating with people, and when we started doing our internship projects, this exposure to several data sets, from nowhere, the idea started coming, and I started knowing the right approach to take when it comes to analyzing data. So these things are very, very important. When you start with analytics, stick to the training, because they will give you the best training and they will simplify it for you, just like Vivian said earlier. And also, my last advice to wrap it up is stay positive, because you might start and you still have one or two misconceptions like we had when we started as well. Just stay positive and believe you can do it. If we can do it, you can do it as well. And I have a very, very common saying. It's even cliche to me now. I don't know if Damilola has heard me say it before, that the best time to start was yesterday, and the next best time to start is now.
Is today.
Right. So
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing
take
that.
that bold step and start off right now. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Larry. God bless you too. Thank you so much. Vivian, do you want to give any advice to people that are looking to get started the transition into tech?
Yeah, because of time, I'll try to make it brief though. Just like Karima and Damilari said, please choose one program and then stick to it. One tech career path, just stick to it, okay? And if you enroll for 10Alytic program, which I'm very certain that you will, because you won't regret it, there's going to be a point where you become tired and you begin to be doubtful. Can I do this? It's too difficult. It's too heavy. It's too intense. Please, that is the stage between you becoming a tech professional or a quitter. The moment you get through that stage and then pass that stage, right, and then escape it, I promise you, whatever you begin to do after that is going to be easy. When it gets tough, be adamant. Okay? Just insist. Sorry, don't be adamant. Just insist. Keep fighting. It's either you kill me or I go kill you, because that was what I did. You see this tech, Abi? We die here. It's either you kill me or I kill you. I was so very, very angry at it. You see this Python? You see this SQL query? I must get you. I kept contacting the tutor and some of my classmates. Please, can you help me with this? Don't be shy. Ask questions, please. Ask questions. The good thing about 10Alytics is they don't have any useless questions. All questions are relevant. Don't think your question is stupid. There are no stupid questions in 10Alytics. They are going to answer it, okay? All right. So please, all the projects they give you and the assignments when you enroll, stick to it. Don't skip one. Don't miss it. That is my advice. Even if you're not the leader, I've said it before, make sure you attempt all of them and then document them, okay? Then after 1 month, 10Alytics is going to tell you this. Start building your CVs, create GitHub accounts, and start developing your portfolio website. Start posting on LinkedIn so that recruiters will begin to see what you're doing. 10Alytics will tell you this. Like Dami said, they are going to direct you how you're going to transition effectively into the tech space. It is structured, okay? Please. All right? And then believe in yourself and be confident. No matter what 10Alytics teaches you, no matter how good they are, if you don't believe in yourself and you're not confident during your interview stage, nobody's going to hire you. It is not difficult. Just like Karima said, comport yourself and believe that you can do it. And the moment you begin to speak, I kid you not, everything you need to succeed in any interview, 10Alytics is going to teach you. Don't joke with whatever they tell you to do. I think that is just it. But the last one is, after your program, before you land your job, don't say, I'm done with my program. Let me relax and start applying for jobs and see when I get any interview call. Your skill might begin to disappear one by one. Go to Kaggle. Kaggle is a data storage platform where you can get data on Excel, data to work on maybe for visualization, Tableau, SQL. Just Google the type of data you want. They are there. Just keep your skill alive. Try to practice. Try to solve some problems. You know, work with data that you obtain from Kaggle. It is free, open data source. If you continue to solve problems with the data there, and it's going to keep your skill very sharp and bright, so that you don't even need to begin to go back to the tutorial videos to think what your responses are going to be, because at every stage of your interview, they are going to give you data to analyze. So make I tell you, if you don't participate in your project, you don't work on your assignment, and you don't practice your skills, when you get an interview, they're going to give you a data to work on. Analyze this data and then send it back to us. Sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours. Sometimes it's the same day, actually. All right? So please, it's easy, but intense. The reason why I'm saying it's easy is because 10Alytics made it easy, okay? I think I'm just going to wrap it up here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you so much. Karima, I see you hand up. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that before you get the job, it may seem difficult, but trust me, when you get the job, what you'll be doing is like very simple. I don't know if Vivian and Damilare can affirm to that, but that is, in fact, I'll be like, is this the business
You are
analysis they are
right.
talking about?
Excellent.
I
You know?
actually
Very
wanted
easy.
to raise my
Very,
hand for
very
that,
easy.
Karimat, because
Yeah.
I'm
the
telling
tools that
you.
we are like trying to learn all about, we
Yes.
sometimes you just realize that you just be using just Excel. You might not even get to
Yes.
use any other tool. So please, guys,
Yes.
take that bold
Just,
step or just
yeah.
register.
The
Don't
koko
be
is
scared of
get your
anything.
foot into the door. I think that's the
I was
major
Exactly.
asking
thing.
myself,
Get
you
your
know,
foot into
recently
the
I was
door.
asking myself, is this what they're paying me this huge amount of money for? Like just this, you know? But it's because 10Alytics already prepared us for it, and then now we are used to it, and then we think it's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just need to learn that skills. If you get on the job, if you're able to scale through the interview, don't be scared. If you can pass through the interview and get the offer, you can handle the job. It will not be too hard for you. And it's going to be easy. Trust me. Thank you for that, Karima.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Dam Larry. Thank you, Karima. Thank you, Vivian. Everything that you've said so far today, they've all been gold as far as I'm concerned. And I'm really grateful that you guys have come to share your experience with 10Alytics and also your experience with us. Okay. So this is where we'll be stopping for today. Of course, we'll still be coming to you guys to just have you come on some of these sessions to just share your experience all over again to people that are new and upcoming. So if you guys want to give a round of applause to our speakers for today, Damilare, Karima, and Vivian. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye,
you. Thank you for
everyone.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So yes, you've heard what Damilare has said, you've heard what Vivian has said, you've heard what Karima has said, and basically these are the things that you need to know to get started. You don't need to be scared, you don't need to be confused, you don't need to have to up around on your own. You don't even have to do it on your own, all right? Once you sign up with us as your training partner, as your your partner in this tech journey, leave everything else to us, okay? And you're going to be just fine. So I'm gonna say very quickly, for somebody who is the person who has 10Alytics as their username or handle, if you would like to rename so that we can identify you, all right? So you have 10Alytics as your saved ID. Please try to rename so that we can identify you. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm going to be handing over to Chukwemeka to take us through because I'm seeing a lot of questions about how can I register, when is it starting, and so on and so forth. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to answer all these questions. So at this point, I'm going to be handing over to Chukwemeka to take us through the other part of the session. Thank you guys and bye.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Please, Daniel, confirm that you can hear me. Elijah, confirm that you can hear me. All right, fantastic. So thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you, Damilare. Thank you, Karima, for being with us this past 1 hour. And thank you to everyone that is still on the call to this moment. And if you are still following us up to this moment, please just type a 1 in the chat box so that I will know that there are people that are still here listening to the other session that we are about to go into. So there have been a couple of questions in the chat box, but I want to be sure that people are still here to hear everything that we have to offer tonight. So just type in a 1 in the chat box so that I'll be sure that I still have lots of people that are following. Okay, I can see the one coming in. Amazing. I can see it. All right, so moving on. We've heard what Vivian said. We've heard what Damnara said. We heard what Karima said. But basically, we offer 8 courses here at 10Alytics that we believe are the fastest means for you to transition into the tech ecosystem, right? And what are the courses? Number 1 is data analyst, right? We offer data science, we offer data engineering, we offer business analysis, we offer HR analysis, we offer financial analysis, Scrum Master, and of course, cybersecurity analyst. What actually makes us to be offering only these 8 courses, right? So work with me. I'm going to show you the reason why we are offering only these 8 courses. So earlier this year, before we choose the courses we offer each year, we sort of review the World Economic Forum reports. So please ensure that you put your name in the attendance sheet that my colleagues are dropping so that by the end of this session, you would have access to this slide and also the recording of this session. Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier this year, we reviewed the World Economic Forum reports. And from it, you can easily see jobs that are going to be in high demand this coming year. right? So they are going to be constantly in demand for the next decade. And what's the number one job there? That's AI and machine learning specialist, right? Number two is sustainability specialist, right? Number three, business and intelligence analyst. Number four, information security analyst, fintech engineer, data analyst, and scientist. So just look at the ones that we have highlighted as the red ones, right? Because we've analyzed these reports, we've seen the jobs that are going to grow. But all these jobs that are going to be in high demand the coming years, is it all of them that you can easily transition into, right? Is it all of them that have high return on investment? So we also analyze all these jobs that are going to be in high demand and now pick the ones that met the three criteria that we currently have here at 10Alytics. And that's basically number one, ease of learning. Number two, ease of transitioning. And number three, high and rewarding salaries. So what it means is that for the 8 courses that we currently offer, which we've highlighted with the red icon here, you can easily transition to them. You can easily learn them, and you will most certainly have high rewarding salaries with respect to them. So take a look at them again. You have the data analysis, you have the data science, you have data engineering, you have the business analysis, you have the HR analysis, you have the financial analysis, and Scrum Master, and of course, cyber security. So all these jobs, like I mentioned, have high rewarding salaries, like we all want to know. The truth is that when people say, I want to transition into the tech ecosystem, most often what we are looking at is what's the return on this investment I'm about to make. And by that, if you look at my screen, you're going to see that for data analysts in UK, you're going to have an average income of at least £40,000. In Canada, you're having 64,000 Canadian dollars. In USA, you're having $72,000. For HR analysts, you are seeing 38,000 plus in UK, and then in Canada, you're seeing 71,000 plus. US, you're also seeing 62,000 US dollars. Same thing with data science, 55,000 UK pounds, 94,000 Canadian dollars, 121 US dollars. For financial analysis, it's the same thing. For in UK, you earn as high as 51,000 pounds. In Canada, as high as 69,000 Canadian dollars, and in US, as high as $74,000. For data engineers, in UK, they earn as high as 65,000 pounds. In Canada, as high as $102,000. Same thing in USA, as high as $134,000. In UK, also for Scrum Masters, they earn as high as 52,000 pounds. In Canada, as high as $74,000. US, as high as $85,000. For cybersecurity, they also earn as high as 57,000 pounds in UK, 140,000 Canadian dollars, 105 US dollars. In UK as well, for business analysts, they earn as high as 52,000 pounds, 74,000 Canadian dollars, and 85,000 US dollars. So, like I mentioned, all the courses that we offer here at 10Alytics will give you the main thing that you are also looking for, which is high and rewarding salaries. So by now, I don't know if you have a specific area that you are tilting towards, right? Do you have a specific area that you are tilting towards, that this is where I want to transition into the tech ecosystem from? If you don't yet, I'm still going to walk you through everything that you need to know about all these individual courses, so that you can be able to, make that decision for you to be able to transition. Because the truth is that for you to be able to transition for any of these, you need to understand, first of all, what they are made of. So I'm going to start with business analysis, right? So who is a business analyst? Basically, a business analyst is someone that acts like a bridge between the stakeholder and the teams that they are managing, right? For effective communication and understanding all the requirements. So I'm going to paint a scenario for us. For example, here in Nigeria, maybe you own a small scale business that you are managing, and peradventure you are into fashion design. There's what we call process mapping, which is a learning area for business analysts. So for process mapping, you are going to look at your business entirely and be able to say, okay, where is my business? Where does it start from? what exactly do I first need to do in my shop as a fashion designer? And the first thing you are looking at for is, okay, maybe you want to do market survey, right? From market survey, you've gone to the market and you've noticed, okay, these are the market trend at that exact moment. You've come back to your own business, and the next thing is for you to have, okay, what is the user requirement, right? For example, someone walks into your shop and says, I want you to, sew this exact shirt for me. You're going to take the requirements of that exact person, and then you now move it to design. From design, you're not designing, okay, this is how I'm going to construct the shirt, this is how I'm going to construct the collar, and so on and so forth. From design, you are moving it out of the shop maybe to showcase that you are pushing it to the customer again. But once the customer tests it and it's not fitting, then there's another process which you call, you're now moving it back to design again. So this is how you look at your business as a business analyst and be able to map out the processes that you are looking at in that exact business. And the truth is, most often than not, we all practice business analysis without knowing, right? Another area that business analysts are also very, very needed is the aspect of project initiation, right? So for a project to start, there will always be need for a business analyst to be able to understand what the requirements for that exact project are. So you're going to do requirements gathering to be able to say, these are the things that we need for us to start this exact business, right? And also, business analysts have the aspect of Agile and Scrum for projects that you have to learn. Because basically, for project management, we have the Agile methodology and we have the waterfall. And you need to be able to understand this aspect of project management for you to be able to manage and initiate projects. So these are the things and key learning areas that we are going to walk you through. And of course, you also learn the software development life cycle. How do softwares come into play? We first of all do your requirements gathering, move it to design. So all those step-by-step processes, you are going to be taught how these are done. And then requirements fundamentals, elicitation method. For you to start any project, for you to kickstart any process, you need to learn how to elicit information from your stakeholders. And these are the things that we are going to teach you. And of course, stakeholder analysis and engagement, ChatGPT for business analysis. But it doesn't really stop there. Before you move towards these key areas of business analysis, you will also learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And this is basically because we want you to understand data, right? So we are equipping you with the tools that a data analyst use on a day-to-day basis, and also the knowledge area that a business analyst needs to have. So you've learned Excel, you've learned Power BI, you've learned SQL, which means you can comfortably manage data. You can comfortably analyze data on your own. And after that, we are now moving you to the core area of business analysis, right? So we have fully given you everything that you need to perform as both a business analyst and a business data analyst, right? Trust me, most time when you go out there to learn business analysis, you will not see Excel, Power BI, and SQL as part of the things that you are going to know. And what are the tools that you are also going to learn in class? It's also Excel, you learn SQL, you learn Power BI for analysis, you learn Lucid Charts, you learn Jira, Draw.io, and Trello, of course. So for the business analysis program, it lasts for 4 months. You are going to learn immersively in the classroom for 2 months, after which you now have what we call the internship program, where you now get to manage and build a web app. Okay, so if you have any question, just write it down. Before this session is over, I'm going to take every single question that everyone has, okay? So just write it down and I will come back to all the questions that we have. All right, so for business analysis, like I mentioned, it's a 4-month program with 2 months immersive classroom learning, after which you now have your 2 months internship program. And the classes are on Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And evening also we have by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. That's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain time, right? That's Canada and US. And on Sundays, we also have classes by 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time, and then 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Canada and US time. So basically, you have to now choose the time that fits your own zone. So if you're in Africa, if you are in UK, you can comfortably, if you're in any of the European countries, can choose the morning classes. And if you're in Canada, US, you can now easily choose the evening classes. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about data analysis, right? Let's talk about data analysis. Who is a data analyst, right? So basically, a data analyst is someone that is responsible for analyzing and interpreting data to be able to bring out insights for the stakeholders to make business decisions. So that's simply who a data analyst is. Bringing it down to paint a scenario, using this call, for example, let's say a data analyst is brought into this call to analyze, okay, what's going on. The person just looks at, oh, we have 102 people on the call. Now, these 102 people, from where did they join the call? That's you answering the question of what happened, right? So you're trying to answer the question of descriptive analytics, right? Because data analysis is basically made of two basic analytics methods, right? One is descriptive, the other one is diagnostics. So for descriptive, you're answering the question of what happened. So you're answering the question of, okay, we had 102 people join us on the call. We had possibly 80 people from UK, and we have 20 from Africa. What does that mean? Why did that happen? Right? So that's you now doing diagnostic analytics to be able to answer the questions of why it happened. So basically, we are going to look to identify patterns and behavior to make connection to what happened and now why they happened. So right now, you've answered, first of all, answer the question of what happened, right now, and the other side now asking the question of why it happened. And that's you being able to answer questions and bring out insights. So you can now comfortably say, okay, maybe possibly because the analytics channel their marketing activities more in United Kingdom than they did in Africa. And that's why they had more people joining from UK than they are having from people in Africa. So basically, answer the two questions of what happened and why it happened. And from there, the company can now be able to make business decisions. So this is basically a demonstration of who a data analyst is. And coming to 10Alytics, we are going to walk you through your own key learning area. Number one is problem solving, right? So for as a data analyst, there is one goal that you have, and that is to solve a problem. And we're going to walk you through all the mechanisms that you can use to solve problems. The CRISP game, the 5 whys, how will you be able to use them to answer and solve problems? Because once a company is employing you as a data analyst, they want you to be able to look at the data they have, be able to analyze it, and be able to bring out insights that will help them solve a problem, right? So you must be able to understand what problem solving is and how to go about it. And after that, we'll move you to Excel, where you learn to use Excel for analytics, right? Excel for dashboarding. From there, you move to SQL, that structured query language, for you to be able to query database, be able to bring out what is inside the database, and now perform your analysis. After that, you now move towards Power BI and Tableau, which are basically visualization tools that you are going to build amazing dashboards that you are going to showcase to stakeholders for them to visually see what the insights are. And we'll walk you through data storytelling, because the amazing thing is that you can be a fantastic data analyst, but you don't know how to tell your story. You need to move from point A to point B, join everything together, make sure that they all correlate and not bringing things from diverse area. So we are going to walk you through what data storytelling is all about. And of course, ChatGPT for analytics and Microsoft Fabric for analytics. When people talk about AI and how AI is going to take our job, I just laugh, because the truth is that AI is here to help us maximize our job and make it easier. So that's why you are seeing ChatGPT in most of this area, because they are also tools that you can leverage to make amazing decisions. All right, so for data analysts, it's also a 4-month program where you learn immersively in the classroom for 3 months and then have a 1-month internship program. And the classes are only on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. So you can, that's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Canada and US time zones, right? So you can now choose the time that works perfect for you. On Sundays, you get what we call the Watch Me Do It videos. So these are short bite videos that we are going to use to demonstrate and teach concepts so that it will be easier for you to understand in the class. So they're just like short bite video that is just 14 to 15 minutes for you to watch first and then prepare yourself for classes, right? And these are uploaded on Sundays. Mind you, all these programs are all virtual-led classes. So you're going to have a facilitator like myself talking to you in class, and the sessions are going to be 100% recorded. That at any point that you do not understand anything, you can always have recourse to the video that will be uploaded to your Google Classroom or the LMS platform. Okay, so you either watch it through the Google Classroom or the LMS platform. Okay, moving on, we have data scientists, right? Who is a data science? So a data scientist is the person that basically applies advanced analytics and statistics, and of course, machine learning to derive meaningful insights and build predictive models. So the way we have descriptive analytics as what I call the foundation of data insights, because you need to first of all understand what happened. So a data scientist will understand what happened and now be able to also answer the question of why it's happened and go the extra mile to use machine learning algorithms to now say, okay, this is what is likely to happen in the future. So a data scientist, like I call them easily, is just people that see the future. So they've analyzed what happened. They are also analyzing why it happened, and using the historical data they've gathered, they will now build predictive models to see the future and be able to say, this is what is likely to happen if we continue moving in this line. And what are the key learning areas that you are going to have? Number one is statistics, right? So we are going to teach you statistics. And when you hear statistics, don't fret not. It's not the classroom statistics that you learn media mode and all. No, here we are going to use case studies, right? Real life case studies to bring to you for you to be able to use them and answer questions, right? After it, we'll walk you through forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. So you're going to use Excel to build and forecast data. You're going to be able to say, okay, this happened in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Because of this data I've analyzed, this is what is likely to happen in the year 5. After it, will move towards tab for data analytics. For you to be able to visualize this thing that you have analyzed, you are going to use Tableau for it. And of course, SQL, which is structured query language. Basically, you are going to be querying database to bring out data for you now to analyze. So we are going to teach you these things. And of course, Python programming, exploratory data analysis, machine learning, like I mentioned, computer vision, GitHub version control, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding, and of course, Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. For the data science program, it also lasts for a period of 4 months, where you are going to learn in the classroom for 3 months and then 1 month internship program. The classes are also on Saturdays only, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Or in West African time. And on Sundays, you get the short bite video, like I mentioned, the Watch Me Do It video for you to watch and also prep yourself for the next class. I don't know if there are people that are still following me here. I can see a lot of questions in the chat box, but I'll answer them once I'm done, explaining what all these programs are. Because the first thing that you need to answer is you need to choose a area, you need to choose a domain that you want to transition from, right? It's after that that you can now start building up on that exact thing that you have. So that's why I'm trying to, explain each of them for you to be able to make decision and see the one that you can easily excel in and the one that, talks to you directly. So moving on, we also have the HR analysis. So like I mentioned, HR analyst is basically someone that use data-driven insights to support human resource function. So if you are currently working, I'm sure that you have HR, and most at times HR needs to be able to make business decisions. So that means they need to look at data. If you perform appraisals, maybe every quarter or every half year, if you're not using maybe a HRMS platform, yes, that means you are likely to use Excel for performance evaluation. How do you build performance models, right? So these are things that you get to learn, because these are tools that will help you optimize yourself as a HR professional. So HR analysts will also learn everything that a data analyst is learning, right? So you're going to learn the first three things that a data analyst is also learning, and that's problem solving, because you need to learn how to solve a problem. And then you also learn Excel, after which you learn Power BI and SQL, which are the tools that a data analyst also is using. So you are going to learn all the tools that a data analyst is using before you now move towards your own competence area. And that's starting with HR analytics and performance evaluation. All right. So while a data analyst is delving deeper into data analysis, you are now moving away from it and now learning how do you use the Excel, Power BI, and SQL that you have learned in the HR system. So we're going to walk you through HR analytics and, of course, performance evaluation, right? So if you are a HR and you can't comfortably, evaluate the people in your company because maybe your company can't afford HRMS platform yet, then you need to learn how to do all these things using Excel or Power BI, as the case may be. So after it, we'll walk you through HR metrics and life cycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, because we are also going to be making recommendations. So you need to be able to build dashboard, for example, in a team that you have engineering, admin, sales, and so on and so forth. You need to be able to, itemize, these are cost centers, these are profit centers, and all these centers that you have a dashboarding for them, and be able to say, okay, this cost center is giving us this profit center is making this, and so on and so forth, so that you can easily make recommendations to the management that, oh, this cost center, we need to add additional hands to it. This profit center, we need to add additional hands to it. So you need to learn all these things. And of course, collaboration and report automation. Because as a HR, you always be heavy on reports. You always be heavy on reports. And number 9, which is how you build your case and creating action. And of course, ChatGPT for analytics. So the HR program also lasts for 4 months, which you will be in the class for 3 months, learning immersively all these domain areas that we've mentioned before you move to the internship program for 1 month. So the program runs on Saturdays alone, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time as well. Then on Sundays, you will get as well the Watch Me Do It videos for you to be able to watch all those short bite videos that prepare you for the next class. All right, so moving on, we also have the financial analyst, right? And who's a financial analyst? These are people that basically, they evaluate the financial data of the company to be able to provide insight to the company on how their performance is regarding what their financial data is saying. So they will be able to look at the CapEx, the OpEx of the company, that's capital expenditure and operational expenditure, and be able to say, okay, because of this OpEx that we have been posting, we are making loss. Maybe the company is about to expand into capital project. You have already one office and you're trying to expand to get another office, into equip it with machines and all, and you've done your analysis and you've seen the projection of the capital expenditure, and you are telling them, if we do this at this exact time, we are going to post loss at the end of the year. And this is because you have learned the accounting fundamental and financial analysis that you need to know. And of course, the financial modeling, because it's with the financial modeling that you can be able to model your financials to be able to say, year 1, you made profit of maybe $1 million. Year 2, you made $900,000. Year 3, you made $700,000. If you continue in this line, this is what's going to happen in year 4. So a financial analyst will learn everything that a data analyst learns. That's problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. before you now move to specialize in your own core domain, starting with accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, and of course, sensitivity and scenario analysis before you now do your own ChatGPT for analytics. So you also learn the tools that a data analyst is using, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And this program also is for 4 months, where you learn immersively in the classroom for 3 months before moving to the internship program for 1 month. And on Sundays, you will get your self-paced videos. That's the Watch Me Do It videos. Classes are also 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Sundays, or in West African time. All right, let's talk about the data engineer, right? So these guys are the backroom organs, because they are responsible for designing and constructing the infrastructure that others are using, right? So basically, we see these guys like a plumber. The way we have plumbers in construction companies that, they build pipes that connect possibly the kitchen to the toilet and everything down to the drain. That's how data engineers build architectures to connect all this back end to front end for you to be able to spool your data, right? So, and the things that you are going to be learning is going to start with introduction to data engineering, right? You need to understand what are needed and what is necessary for a data engineer to do before you now move towards SQL and then Python programming. And of course, you are going to learn Linux. You move to how you build your ETL pipeline, how you are going to use database and APIs to connect. Possibly want to scrape, maybe want to scrape Twitter and put it into a database for you to be able to see the trends that is going on Twitter. You connect your API to collect Twitter API, connect it to your database, scrape your data, go to SQL, and then be able to analyze your data inside SQL. So these are things that we are going to teach you in the class. And of course, you are going to learn Apache Spark and then Apache Airflow, learn AWS Cloud Engineering, and of course, version control with GitHub and ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. You're going to learn a couple of tools, Python, SQL, PySpark, AWS, and this program also runs for 5 months. So the data engineering program runs for 5 months, where you are going to learn immersively in the class for 3 months, where you have a live facilitator talking to you, and then you have 2 months for your internship program. The classes are only on Saturdays, morning 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. Of course, and on Sundays, you get your Watch Me Do It videos that are self-paced. Moving on, we have the Scrum Masters. Okay, so who exactly is a Scrum Master? So Scrum Master is someone that is like a coach for a team that applies the Scrum methodologies for the company to be able to abide with the Agile framework, right? So it's like a coach that helps the team that he is coaching abide to the Agile methodologies. And this time, most companies are tilting towards the Agile framework, right? They are tilting towards the Agile framework. And why is that so? So under project management, we have the waterfall and we have the Agile methodology, right? These are 2 main arms of project management. And for waterfall, it's just like the traditional means of washing clothes. You're washing your clothes with your hand. And then for Agile, it's just like you employing the services of washing machine and the dryer for you to be able to, wash your clothes and dry instantly. So these 2 methods are efficient. You can decide to wash clothes with your hand, you can decide to wash with the washing machine. You are going to get to the same result. But which one do we think is most efficient? All right, I don't want us to answer because that's a lot of debate if we go into it, right? But this is just to tell you that waterfall is like the traditional method of project management, while Agile is like the modern project management. And under Agile, we have the Scrum, and then we have the Kanban, we have the others. So that is where Scrum came out from, under Agile methodologies. And who is a Scrum Master? This is basically someone that ensures that the team is following the Scrum rules, because Scrum works iteratively. Under the waterfall, you have to do a lot of planning. But if you see apps like Instagram, today you can come and you've noticed that your share button has moved, Tomorrow you can come and notice that if you tap the pictures twice, the heart is now very, very large. So that's because they are using the agile methodologies to push out development in sprints. They don't have to, get everything together before they push it, right? They've already pushed Instagram into production, and then they are working on it iteratively in sprints for them to be adding reviews, for them to be doing improvements. And this is basically what agile is all about. And that's what a Scrum Master is there to make sure that the team works using the agile methodology. And when I talk about Scrum, I'm always happy speaking about it because that's the only area in tech that you can easily transition without writing any single line of code, right? So you not write any single line of code, and you still get to coach teams of people that are writing all this code. Isn't that amazing? So for Scrum, you're going to be learning Introduction to Scrum. You're going to be learning the Scrum team artifact and ceremonies. You're going to be learning the Scrum artifacts, increments, and the sprint backlog. So you're going to learn how to even do product backlog. For example, now what's product backlog? Maybe you want to build a mobile app. You need to put things that you need into the backlog and then be picking them one after the other into the sprint. For example, let's build maybe something like Instagram. You need to be able to understand, okay, you need the sign-in page, you need the user account, you need the password encryption. So these are things that you are going to put in your product backlog. And then personally, you're now picking it and pushing to sprints. So sprint is just like a period of time that you guys need to work on an exact user story, right? So all these things are what we are going to walk you through in the Scrum Master class. And you are going to learn it without writing any single line of code. And of course, you are going to learn this using the Jira project management tool and Trello, and of course, Confluence. The beauty about this is that once you learn Jira, you can comfortably work on other project management tools. So after the Scrum artifacts, you're going to learn the Scrum events, learn the Nexus Cage Scrum, and of course, everything that you have learned within that period of time will prepare you to write your PSM, that's Professional Scrum Master examination. So the Scrum Master program lasts for 2 months, where you learn immersively in the classroom for 1 month, and then do an internship for 1 month, where you're going to get to work on real world projects. The Scrum Master classes are on Sundays and on Saturdays. So you get to have live classes on Saturdays and on Sundays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, West African time, and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, West African time. So moving on, we also have the cybersecurity analyst, right? So who is a cybersecurity? In today's world that everything is technologically inclined, there is always need for somebody to protect us from all this. And for example, I think the most rampant one is the social engineering, where maybe somebody is talking to you, pretending to be someone else without you knowing, right? And cybersecurity analysts are basically people that have been trained to play crucial roles in protecting the organization's networks and cyber threats. And in our cybersecurity program, we're going to start off with learning foundation of computing and networking. So before we even move you into cybersecurity, we'll make sure that you understand, okay, what is CPU, what's monitor, what's LAN, what's cable. You need to understand all those computing terms. You need to understand networking before we now go to introduction to cybersecurity. After which we now move you to the information security principles, where you get to understand the ISO standard, the NDPR if you're in Nigeria, the GDPR if you're in UK, and of course, offensive and defensive cybersecurity. That's what we call the blue team and the red team in cybersecurity. That's basically people that are defending and people that are attackers, right? And these are ethical attackers because basically there are people that companies have given the legal right for me to attack you and be able to bring out where the loopholes are for the defensive guys to now defend the company from it. After the offensive and defensive cybersecurity class, you move on to learn cryptography basics, cyber threats and attack vectors, network security, endpoint security, web and application security, cloud security, and of course, incident response and forensics, and cybersecurity policies and compliance. One amazing thing about cybersecurity is that once you are done training with us, because there are so many arms of cybersecurity that you can decide to pivot into. Have the GRC, the governance and compliance, where you want to play in the aspect of the policies, the ISO, the NDPR. You have the aspect of web security. You have the aspect of endpoint security. You have so many areas, cybersecurity architect, that you can play in. And all these things, we are going to walk you through them in the classroom. So for the cybersecurity class, it lasts for 4 months, where you will learn massively for 3 months in the class, and then 1 month internship, where you also get to work on real life projects. And the classes are on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and on Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. I don't know if someone has been following me up to this moment. So by now, you should have ticked off this first step on how you can get your journey started, right? So have you made the decision? Have you ticked off this first one, which is identify your target role, right? Because for you to be able to transition, there is basically 6 steps for you to do this. And the number one place that it starts from is you identifying your target role. So you need to determine which tech role that interests you. And that's why we've taken time to explain all these 8 areas for you to say, okay, for me, I've played maybe in the banking sector. I'm a lawyer. That means maybe there's possibility of me having strength in business analysis, because I have to, elicit information from people. I need to do this. So that's why we took our time to explain all these courses for you. So if you have made your own decision of the area you want to transition into, I want you to put it in the chat box so that I'll be sure that you have made that first decision of identifying your target role. So if you have identified your target role, put it in the chat box so that I will know people that are still here and people that have made the decision of the target role that they want to play with respect to transition into the tech ecosystem. So I can see Dolapo HR, Steven Cybersecurity, Felix Scrum. Is it only 3 people that are on the call? So I want to see the area, the domain that you have chosen to move into. Because for you to be able to move on this journey with me, you need to first of all make that decision of saying, this is where I want to be in. All right. So, okay, I can see a couple of charts dropping right now. That's amazing. I can see BA, financial analytics, BA, cybersecurity, data analysis, data HR, cyber, data science, data analysis. Fantastic decisions that we have made. And remember, of all these 8 courses, you don't really need to say, okay, which one has the higher return on investment, because we've gone that extra mile to analyze them for you. All the 8 of them offers you high return on investment, right? And they all offer you that ease of transitioning and the ease of learning. So after you've identified this exact domain that you want to transition to, the next thing is to educate yourself. Like, right, you need to start learning the skills to develop your capacity in that area, right? And that is where we come in for you, right? So we are going to try and help you transition. We are going to teach you all these things that you need to know, and then move you to the number 3 pillar, which is basically to gain practical experience. Because our classes are structured in a way that you are going to build you are going to work on live case studies, right? So what we do most times is that once we get all this external consultancy job, we also give our students to work on them. But we now codify the data so that we can, play by the NDPR and GDPR guideline and make sure that nobody knows the company is coming from. So by that, you are gaining practical experience. You are working on real life projects. And then you also have the internship aspect where you also move into and also work on other projects that is going to enrich your portfolio. What I always tell people is that the tech ecosystem is always filled with skill and competency, right? So for you to be able to transition, there must be a skill and competence assessment. So if you do not learn the skill and competency and you jumped and acquired a certification can get you to the door, but once you get to that door, they will still do what we call a skill and competence assessment. And if you fail in that exact area, you might not be able to move to the next level. So we are going to give you the exact skill that you need. We're going to give you the practical experience that you need and internship experience that you need, and then move you to develop your employability skills, right? Because we are going to also offer you the employability services, starting with how to tailor your CV to be ATS compliant, right? Because our CVs are just like a walking signboard of us. They will get to the door before we get to come to that exact door to say who we are. So you need to be able to learn how to match your CV to the job. One exact mistake that people make when they try to transition is that we just move on to LinkedIn and we easily click on easy apply, easy apply, easy apply using one exact CV. Now, one of the jobs that you're trying to apply to, maybe in your CV, you wrote that you have knowledge of SQL, but in the job description, what they wanted is someone that has knowledge of Postgres. Now, this is exactly the same too. But because you didn't match your CV to that exact job, the ATS, that's applicant tracking system, is automatically going to sieve you out, right? So it's going to sieve you out that you don't have that exact skill that they are needing. So there's always need for you to match your CV to the job description. And these things we are going to teach you how to make use of, even AIs, to be able to, automate and easily transform your CVs to the job that you are trying to apply to. We also give you sessions like LinkedIn optimization session, the interview prep sessions, and of course the Upwork session, Upwork optimization. That's if you want to play in the aspect of being in Nigeria and you're working for a company in US, or being in maybe in UK and working for a company in Canada, you can easily do all these things using the Upwork optimization session that we offer. And we also have the networking, the fifth pillar for transitioning, the networking, right? So you will join the 10Alytics community. Let me give you an instance. Imagine being in 10Alytics and you already have a network of, we are 91 on this call, you already have a network of 91 people across the globe, right? Because from data analysis of everyone on this call, we have people from Nigeria, we have people from UK, we have people from Canada, we have people from Germany, we have people from the Netherlands. So you indirectly have connection and networking across the globe. And this is one thing that people underrate when it comes to transitioning, right? But it is part of the 6 pillars that can help you transition easily. Once you build up this networking, you can see how easily you will transcend. And another area is mentorship session. So we offer mentorship sessions. We bring in experts from the industry to come back to the classroom and be able to tell you, this is what happened during my own time. This is how I navigated it, for you not to make that same decision that they made. So moving on, the next slide, you can see once you are done training with us, you must build a portfolio to showcase your skill. So I'm just going to quickly show the portfolio of one person so that we get to understand how and things that you will see when you join 10Alytics. So once you are done training with us, these are the things that will likely happen to you. You are going to 100% build your own portfolio. So for example, this is a portfolio that someone that trained with us built after training with us. Now, if you are a recruiter, are you not going to hire this person, right? So this is the recent project that she worked on, Deep Care Hospital, ER visit analysis. So she can comfortably say that while she was working with 10Alytics, that she consulted for a healthcare facility, and she can comfortably talk through everything regarding the health sector, right? So this is, once you click here, you are automatically going to see everything regarding that exact case study that she worked on using Tableau, right? So you are going to see everything that she worked on using Tableau. So these are things that she worked on in the class. So she can comfortably say, I worked in the health sector, right? But I consulted in the health sector. And by virtue of you being our students, you can always say that you worked in 10Alytics and you consulted for so and so sector, right? And you can also see another area, Redox Airline Flight Analytics on Excel. So once you click on check it out, you are also going to see the area that she worked on when she joined us. Please, 1 second, let me quickly get something. All right, so you can see that she can easily say that she worked she consulted for the airline sector as well, by virtue of she having a full analysis that she has done in the health sector. So these things are the areas that you are going to work on and put in your portfolio. You can also see that she has the one for supply chain. So she worked on Express Tech Food Delivery, and that's supply chain. She worked on Nestle, that's FMCG, and she worked on Zenith Electronics. So by being in training with us for 4 months, this person has comfortably consulted for 5 sectors, starting with the health sector, the airline sector, the supply chain sector, the FMCG, and of course, the electrical sector, and so on and so forth. So this is just a portfolio of one person, right? And that is how others also build their portfolio to showcase what they have done. Because what we always tell people when they join us is that you are going to learn publicly, right? We have what we call the 90 days challenge, where anything that you are doing in the class, you are posting it. Because if recruiters know that you are learning, they are going to, keep an eye for you and say, okay, Chukwemeka is trying to, he's posting things in GRC. That means he's tilting towards cybersecurity. And next thing, you are posting things you are doing with Bob Suit. You are posting things you are doing with Zap. They are going to know this person has transitioned. And once they ask for your portfolio, you can comfortably present it to them. So these are things that you are going to, get by virtue of you being in 10Alytics. So once you join, just mark yourself that you are going to have at least 3 projects in your portfolio before you are done training with us. Are you still following, guys? I don't know if you are excited to start this journey already with me. So there are other services that we also provide that differentiates us from the market generally. So we have our achievements and why you should train with us. So over the 4 years that we've been playing in this industry, we've helped over 2,000 people transition from their normal jobs to the first tech jobs here in Africa, in UK, US, Canada, Asia, as the case may be. And we have this track record. And we also have industry standard facilitators and curriculum. Like Damilola mentioned when she started this session, we have amazing facilitators that join us from amazing companies like Microsoft, like Deloitte, like KPMG, like McKinsey. They come to class to teach our students. So that means you are definitely going to get a real life scenario of what they are already experiencing. And our training model is blended into 2. That you're going to learn virtually in class, learning from someone talking to you, and you are also going to have the recording of those sessions uploaded in the Google Classroom for you to be able to, watch it at your own time. So even if you missed a class, you can always go back to your Google Classroom and watch that same recording. Like I've mentioned, we also have tailored sessions that will help you get jobs like CV review sessions and others, which is what we titled additional employability services for you. And I've talked about the CV review, I've talked about LinkedIn optimization, I've talked about the Upwork, and let me tell you about navigating the job market. So we bring in experts, HRs, to come to the class and also talk to you about the things that relates to getting a job, right? What are the top trends that HRs are looking out for? And if you get an interview invite, you can also book an interview prep with 10Alytics, where we have a sit down and ask you questions, teach you how to use the SIT approach to answer questions in your interview, right? And we are also going to be providing recommendation letters and reference letters. Like I mentioned, it's as good as you mentioning that you are working with 10Alytics. If you go on LinkedIn and type 10Alytics and check on people, you are going to see thousands of employees, right? And these are people that have worked with us by virtue of being our students. And you can also play in this role. And if at any point they need recommendation from a next employer, we are always here to provide this for you. We have what we call the weekly mentorship sessions too, where we bring in the people that have passed through this exact domain that you are learning to come back to class and tell you, this is what I passed through in the job, like having a day in the life of a data analyst, a day in the life of a cybersecurity analyst, a day in the life of a scrum master, they walk you through what they are doing so that you can also understand the new trends that they are having. And also we provide on-the-job support that at any point that you get a job and you're still struggling to move on, settle in fully, we can also be there for you 1 month to make sure that you easily transition. And all these packages tilts to one place. We guarantee you that after training with us, you must get 1 interview invite for a job, right? And all these are possible because we have fully tailored everything to make it possible for you. So I've already talked about the class duration and structure. So I'm going to move on for you to know that these things always seem important for you to know that this thing can be done, right? From our past alumni, we've already heard from people that came, what they said, everything that they said. But let's just watch this 3 minutes video and then we'll move on to the pricing, because I know that is where everybody's waiting to hear, want to hear the pricing and what's up. So I'm going to share my screen right now and then let's hear what Ikmat had to say before we move on to the pricing.
10Alytics. For me, I needed something.
All right, let's hear what Ikmat had to say. All right, I'll come back to that video afterwards, okay?
I needed something that would help me, have an edge over my colleagues that have been there. So I was just curious. I needed something, and all of a sudden, I stumbled on a dashboard on the colleagues.
All right, let me close it down because it's playing in the background. Okay. All right, so moving on, let's talk about how you can get into this. Like I mentioned, by virtue of you being on this call, we have a special offer for you. We have a special offer for you. So, and that offer is starting June 8th, right? It's starting right now, but you are going to join the cohort that is starting on June 8th. So our next classes are starting on June 8th. And what do you need to do for you to be able to join these classes? So we have a 20% discount ongoing for the first 30 people to join any of these areas that we have mentioned. For data analytics, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity, they all go for the full amount of $750, £625, 730 euros, 1,125 Canadian dollars, and 900,000 naira. But because of the discount, we are giving it to you at $600, 500 pounds, 580 euros, 900 Canadian dollars, and of course, 720,000 naira. And these things you can do instrumentally, right? So you can decide to pay the first option for you to get into class. And then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second instrumental payment. But for Scrum Master, it goes for a little bit cheaper. And mind you, because of the pricing, it doesn't mean that Scrum Masters are not going to make the high return. It's basically because we are newly introducing Scrum as a program here at 10Alytics. That's why you're seeing it at this pricing. Once everything balances, there might be changes, right? So I always advise people to take advantage of this exact pricing. So for Scrum, it goes for $450, 375 pounds, 440 euros, 675 Canadian dollars, and 540,000 naira. But we are offering you discount also. So it means that you are going to get it for $360, 300 pounds, 350 euros, 540 Canadian dollars, or 430,000 naira. How can you make this payment? My colleague dropped a link in the chat box. So work with me. I'm just going to click on the link. So once you click on that exact main start link, it's going to bring you to the 10Alytics enrollment page, right? It's going to bring you to the 10Alytics enrollment page. And once you're on that 10Alytics enrollment page, just look for the exact domain that you are trying to transition into, right? If you scroll down, you are going to see all the courses that we offer: Scrum Master, Data Analytics, Business Analysis, Full Stack, all of them, they are here. So just click on the one that you want to transition into. For example, I am Chukwemeka. I'm trying to transition into cybersecurity. So I'm just going to click on cybersecurity, and it's going to bring me to the page for me to, proceed with my payment. So what happens that because I'm in Nigeria, it's going to pick Naira as my currency. So if you're in UK, it's going to pick pounds. If you're in US, it's going to pick dollars. If you're in Canada, it's going to pick Canadian dollars. Anywhere you are, it's going to pick the currency of that location, right? So what I'm going to do now is for me to just put the amount 720 that I want to pay, click on reserve a seat, and it's going to bring up the checkout information page for me. So what I'll do is I'll simply put my name, Chukwemeka Ekpa, put my email address, select the country flag of the country I'm in, okay? This is taking a while to come on. All right, so let me select the country flag, right, Nigeria, because I'm in Nigeria, put in the phone number, and then simply click on proceed, right? So once I click on proceed, it's going to bring out the checkout option for me. So what I simply need to do right now is that if I want to make payment with my card, I just put my card details, put my expiry, put CVV, and then pay. If I want to make transfer, I'll simply click on transfer and copy the bank details, go to my bank app and make the payment. And once you have made this payment, the next thing that you just need to do is just simply go back to that link. Simply go back to that link that you, the main stack link that you entered through, and click on the upload receipt. Okay, so you go back to the pay stack link and click on upload receipt. So I'm just going to go back to that place so that I can show you how to do that. So once you make payments, simply go back to that same link that you entered through and simply click on upload payments. And once you click on upload payments, somebody from 10Alytics is going to reach out to you to tell you welcome, give you a welcome package, and welcome you into class, right? So once you are done making payments, you come back to that same link and click on upload your receipt here. Amazing. So everything is fully automated using that same link. I don't know if there are people that are still following me up to this moment. Please, if you are still with me, I'm about to take your questions. So all the questions that you have, just keep it in your head. You can use the raise hand icon and I'll ask you to unmute, or you can type it in the chat box and I am going to take the question. You can also scan the barcode in my screen and it's automatically going to lead you to that same link for you to make payment. All right, so let's have it. If you have a question, please just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to ask you to unmute to talk to us, all right? So just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to ask you to unmute for you to speak to me. And if you don't want to speak to me, you can also drop your question in the chat box for me to pick it up from there. Now, it may be hard scrolling to see every question that we had, but I picked a couple of questions before now. Somebody asked, I think that's Precious, how many years did it take you to be good and for you to, seeing that you do not have a tech background? That's the question for the people that we had, the alumni that we had in-house. Now, all our programs, like you've seen, are basically 4 months program, right? And you remember initially before we started, I mentioned that we chose courses that you can easily transition to, right? The courses that have ease of transitioning, ease of learning, and high reward on investment. So you can easily do these things within 4 months, right? Of a massive learning. So that is one. How do you register? I think that's another question that someone asked. How do I register? So using the barcode on my screen, just scan it. It's going to take you to the main stack link for you to select the program you want to move into and make payments so that you will fully be recognized as payments. How much is the program? Someone also asked. I think I've done justice to the exact pricing relating to the program. So if you have a different question that I've not asked, please just use the raise hand icon or drop it in the chat box and I am going to pick it from there. Okay, let's keep it coming, please. How do we ascertain your credibility? Manny Quacks. Right? We have employees that work from Canada, we have people in the UK, we have people in Kenya, we have people in Ghana, and that's the amazing benefits regarding working in tech companies. Today I can be in Nigeria, tomorrow I'm in Rwanda, right? So, but our credibility is not in doubt, right? So you can easily go to YouTube and just type 10Alytics. You're going to see amazing testimonials from our past students, right? So we allow our past students to be doing the testimonials of how their own sessions went, right? So once you go there, you're going to see hundreds of videos of people in the past. Once you go to LinkedIn, you're going to see hundreds of posts that people have made regarding 10Alytics. From there, you don't need anything to be worried about anymore. Before we are done, I'm just going to play one recording of one of those testimonials so that we can see them. Okay, can one do instrumental payments from Joko Tade? All right, Joko Tade, so you can do instrumental payments for programs, all the programs excluding Scrum, right? So what it means is that you can decide to make the first payment option for you to get into class, right? Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second instrumental payment, right? You can make the first payment. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the subsequent payment. But if that doesn't work for you, my colleague is going to drop an email for you to email how you want your own payment pattern to be structured, right? So Elijah, I don't know, do you mind dropping the email so that people will know how to reach out regarding that exact question? So if you have maybe a different pattern that you want to make use of, so just email this email address, nene@10alytics.org, and we are going to have a conversation with you regarding that fully. All right, love to join in June, but that exact day I have a function. Okay, so OISEX iPhone, amazing. Like I mentioned, all our programs, you have the live recorded version of the class, right? So even if you have reason why you missed a class, you can always go back to watch the video recording of that class. But if you still can't make it this June, what I always advise people to do is to lock down this exact pricing that is existing right now in May and be able to come into class in July. So what it means is that we have the 1 month deferral option. So instead of you starting in June, you can defer the program that you want to start in July. But by doing that, you've locked down the pricing for the people in June. So this is what we call futures trade. If you trade option or derivatives in the capital market, you can easily understand what I'm saying. So we are using today's price to lock down a future commodity, right? So you make payments now. Instead of you starting in June, you are going to now move into class in July. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, Oise. Can we get the payment link in our email? Also, Oise, yes, you will get it. So make sure you fill the attendance form. Once you fill the attendance form, my colleague will definitely send the recording of this session to you and also the slide that we use for this session. Remember, if you want to speak to us directly, you can use the raise hand icon and we are going to ask you to unmute to speak. Okay, let me keep taking the question in the chat box. Okay, kindly answer my question. What if I can't make a payment tonight, but I am interested? Can I pay next week? Hi, Omodelapo. So amazing. You can still make payments next week, right? But remember, the discount is for the first 30 people to join these programs, right? So this is where people most time do, someone last week said, someone before this May said, oh, I saw your program, it was selling for, as I think it was selling for 600,000. And by the next week, it was selling for 720,000. And the person started complaining, oh, why did the price change, right? So these are the things like that. We always advise people to make payments at any point they see it selling. right? Even if you can't make the entire payment, you can lock down that exact pricing that is existing right now. That's $1. You can lock it down right now. Then next week, you can decide to complete it, right? By doing that, you are certain that you are amongst that first 30 people. Because as we are speaking, remember this call, we are around 100. The slots are already being taken. People are already, taking some of these slots. I can see a couple of people trying to join the data analyst program already. So I'll always advise people, take advantage of the pricing at this exact point and make sure you get into class. Pricing is always continuum. In March, we had a 50% discount. That means it sold for 450,000 naira. In April, we had a 33% discount. That means it sold for 600,000 naira. In May, we're having only a 20% discount and it's selling for 720,000 naira. In June, nobody is sure of what's going to happen. We are all in this economy together, right? So pricing is always a continuum. So I don't know if that answers your question or modular. You can make payments next week, but I will advise you to lock down the pricing for it right now, so that next week you can now complete that exact payment. Please, how long is the business analysis course again? For BA, the business analysis program runs for 4 months, where you are going to learn massively in the class for 2 months and then have a 2-month internship program. Can we get the payment link in our email? We've addressed that. Difference between full stack data engineer and data engineering. All right, so what we have is full stack data science and data engineering, right? So like I mentioned, a data scientist is someone that answers the descriptive analytic question. That's the question of what's happened, the diagnostic analytic question of why it's happened, and then the predictive analytic question of what is going to happen. But a data engineer is someone that builds the data architecture that everything is flowing through. So he connects the front end to the back end by building models that will make sure that this thing happens. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, John Essel. All right, Sarah, what's the HR analysis course? So I'm sure I have addressed that. Can one do instrumental payment, Jokota Day? I'm sure we've addressed that. What's the payment plan, Jamil? We've addressed that. I'm interested but can't pay tonight. Can we still get discount if we pay next week? Dolapo, fantastic. There's possibility of you getting it next week, but today is advisable. Lock it down and then make sure that next week you complete the payments. How do we ascertain your credibility? We've answered that. Okay, so because of the way the questions are rolling in the chat box, it's difficult to follow it, right? So please, you can make use of the raise hand icon and speak to me, right? It's easier when I see the number of people that are raising hand. I can easily pick everyone's question by that sequence, okay? Do we have to purchase any books during this training? Uchenna, no, you do not, right? You do not have to purchase anything. The only thing you'll be doing is that depending on the program that you are joining, you will be downloading Excel, you'll be downloading SQL, you'll be downloading Power BI, as the case may be. All right, currently doing a postgraduate course in data analytics ending in September. We'll be running a batch of training in September. Sally, amazing, Sally. Now, Sally, what I always advise people that do this is that there is no better time to join than right now, Sally. You are running a program that will finish in September. Trust me, most of us have done, courses. I have master's, I have MBA. We've done all these things, right? And most of the times, things that we learn are not really live application of all these things. They don't teach us with case studies, right? We just have the theoretical knowledge of them. So for people that are running MSc in data-related courses, I always advise them to run it concurrently with this program, right? So you are learning the theoretical aspects, you are building up your CV and showing that you have all those educational qualifications, and you are also learning the practical aspect of it. Now, let's run a simulation, Sally. If you start in June, you're going to learn July, August, September. That means by the time that you are done with your program, your MSc program, you are also done with these live practical classes. That's you have coming out fully prepared, right? So by that September, you are fully fledged data analyst, having the MSc, having the theoretical knowledge, and also having the practical knowledge. But if you wait till September for you to start, that means you're now pushing forward your transitioning phase till December. And that also means the pricing may not remain the same by that exact September. So what I'm advising you to do, Sally, is to take advantage of this right now, run it concurrently with your program so that you are coming out a fully baked data scientist. That makes sense, fully baked. Yeah. So I don't know if others have questions. Is the internship going to be in person? Money. Okay, so money, the internship program are virtual, right? So what it means is that you will be working on projects also, depending on the domain that you are moving into. For example, people in Scrum, business analysis, they get to do internship with people in Scrum, people in BA, stakeholders, software developers. They all come together to build the web application platform, right? But if you are in the other programs, there is higher chance that you will get to work on larger real life case studies that we are going to give you, that you get to work on with your own people, your class people, and then present and able to defend this exact thing. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, Manny. All right, let me take other questions. Okay, Chena, thank you. That means I answer your question. Did you say business analysis program class is 2 times a week? So for the BA program, BA lasts for 4 months, and the classes are on Saturdays and Sundays, right? All our programs run only on weekends, right? But for BA, they have class Saturday and Sunday. For others, they might have only Saturday and Sundays. They will have watch me do it videos. But for BA, they have classes on Saturdays and Sundays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time on Saturdays, and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time, and 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. West African time on Sundays. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Stella. That's a direct message. All right. Okay, finally from Jason, do the courses run monthly or you have to wait every 4 months to start? No, Jason. So every new month, we are starting a new cohort, right? For right now, we have people in class in that started in January. Okay, January, they are done. February, they are almost done for some programs. And then we'll have people in March, we'll have people in April, we'll have people in May. So every first Saturday of the month, we are starting a new cohort, right? So they all run concurrently. It means that you have senior colleagues in the industry, right? So once we have mentorship classes, you get to see the entire house where you get to, meet people from the other cohorts where you guys are going to be, having the mentorships sessions together. Please come again for the BA class times. So again, to piece, that's what I'm currently displaying. The classes are on Saturdays and on Sundays. And on Saturdays, they are from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And in the evening, we also have 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. If you're in Canada or you're in US, that should be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. your own time, right? On Sundays, the classes are 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and that's West African time, and the evening 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. West African time. That should be 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Mountain time. That's for people in Canada and people in US. So just make sure that you put your name in the attendance form so that you can easily get this slide for you to be able to go through it and see the exact things that are written down there. Okay, so that you can easily choose the exact place you want to be in. Again, to Peace, your explanation is confusing. Hi, Peace, do you mind unmuting so that you talk to me? For which exact area, Peace? Hi, Peace, I'm interested to know the area you are confused about. So do you mind raising your hand so I can ask you to unmute? Hi, Peace, are you there? All right. So I'm going to take the other questions. What about FA? What time is their class? So for the financial analysts, the timing is, they have classes only on Saturdays, right? And it's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we have morning class and evening class, right? And you only have to be in one. We made it so that people in, because we have people in Canada, we have people in US, so that they can be able to join the evening classes. For them, it's morning over there. That should be around 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So in the morning, we have classes 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. In the evening, we have classes 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. And that will be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain time for people in Canada and in US. So I don't know if this makes sense right now. So just take note of the West African time I'm adding at the end so that I can use it to see the exact time zone that fits your own class. That means all the courses are same price, Stella. So at the moment, all the courses are same price except Scrum Master, right? All the courses are same price except Scrum Master. What time will I learn? Peace, we've spoken about this timing over and over again, and it's also currently on my screen. So I'll repeat it again. For business analysis, the classes run Saturdays and Sunday. And for this Saturday and Sunday, it can only be in one session for those days, right? So if you are in the EU, if you're in UK, if you're in Africa, most times they choose the morning program that runs from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., right? And then if you're in US or Canada, they choose the evening class that's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. But in their own time zone, it is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Sundays, we'll have classes also afternoon, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., suitable for people in UK, Africa, and EU. And then evening, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., suitable for people that are in Canada and in US. All right, okay, Peace, you've said thank you. Finally, you've released me. Kudos. I can't wait to see you in class, please, because you've made me speak on this timing over and over again. Okay. Uchechi is asking, I filled the Friday form, but now I've not received the recorded one. Sorry about that, Uchechi. I will look into that and make sure that you get the slide and the recording that we use on Friday. All right. What time is cybersecurity classes? So for the cybersecurity program, it runs on Saturdays and Sunday. They only have one classes, right? And on Saturdays, it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And on Sundays, it's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. All right. So I don't know. I may have missed your question by omission or by, I don't know. But please, if you still have any question till this very moment, please use the raise hand icon so that I'll ask you to unmute. All right. Use the raise hand icon so that I will ask you to unmute. While I'm waiting for further questions and for people to unmute, I promise that I'm going to play one video for people that's asking about the credibility and stuff like that. So I'm going to play one video for us to see what people had to say about us. Okay. So let me play the video of, okay, Oluwadamire was in class today. Let me play the one that is from a lawyer that transitioned to business analysis, right? So most time people think these are not possible, but it is 100% possible. So let me play Temi's video so that we can see what Temi had to say regarding his own time with us. And then we'll start rounding up gradually and start calling it a day once we are back.
Because I'm going to be briefly sharing my
that's not from Temi.
On my journey with 10Alytics and how I was able to get a job within 3 months of joining the cohort. I joined them and enrolled for the course. 10Alytics has well-seasoned facilitators who are experts in the field. Imagine not having any experience beforehand as a business analyst and finishing with 10Alytics as a pro. Personally, I also got interview preparation sessions that helped me prepare well for my interviews, and this enabled me ace my interview. So if you're looking to transition or you're having any doubt, trust me, you shouldn't, because 10Alytics is really amazing and you should consider enrolling.
Amazing.
Hi, good day.
So we have lots and lots of success stories and testimonials. Like I mentioned, please ensure you fill the form so that you get this and you can comfortably watch it on your own. All right. And you can also go to YouTube and you will have access to all these videos. I don't know, do we still have questions at this point? Do we have questions? Okay, I think I've done justice to it all. I've done justice to all the questions. If you have questions at this point, please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you get the recording and also get to watch the video. Like I mentioned, we have people that have transitioned in the past. We have Abigail. Abigail currently working with government of Alberta after she transitioned from being a co-worker in Canada into this exact area. And that's after she worked through our business analysis program. We have amazing people. We have Modusola that is working as a BA in UK. We have Olamide that is working as a BA in UK, so with the energy sector. We have amazing people. All right. So we have also Chika as working as a financial analyst in UK. We have Solomon, financial analyst in Nigeria. We have Grace, financial analyst also. We have Akentayo, that is CFO for also a financial company in Nigeria. So please, we have Victor, HR Analytics, Maureen, HR Analytics. So we have amazing people that have transitioned. We have Abdrashid. He's currently residing in Nigeria, but working for a company in US. And that's after he did his data science program. We'll have Sunday that's working as a regular data analyst after his data science program. And of course, Shade after she also completed his own. We'll have Michael that also transitioned after he finished in data engineering. We also have Idris after he also finished his data engineering. So we'll have people from all the core sectors that we are currently handling. And all this, that's how we have been able to help 2,000 people transition into this tech ecosystem. Have our amazing participants work in these areas that you are currently seeing on our screen. So what are you waiting for to be able to transition? Right now is the best time, because when it comes to pricing, you can only get it the best pricing at this exact moment. So thank you everyone so much for being with us till this very moment. We are already closing the calendar from here, right? And on behalf of the founders, Adeza Suleiman, and of course, Efemina, the co-founder, people that have amazing wealth of experience within the data ecosystem. They've helped close to 10,000 people individually to transition into these tech ecosystems, right? And that is how and why we are who we are today. We are right here to help you also begin your own journey into this tech ecosystem. So thank you guys once more for being here to this very moment. I can't wait to see everyone come June 8th in class. And if you still have any question after this, please check out our social media platforms. You can reach out to us through LinkedIn, through IG, or through the WhatsApp, or through the email. So please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you can get the slide and the recording has all these things. Thank you again once more, and see you in class come June 8th. Cheers and bye for now, guys.